Hello, retreat participants. I thought I would just do a really quick video for you, for your eyes only, with the demonstration of how to do the container exercise. Now, you would do this exercise every day if possible, but especially at times when you need it. And the need is anytime you're in distress, whether you have worry, fear, overwhelm, or anxiety. This exercise is a way to neutralize that stress in the body. And so I'm just going to run through the steps really quick with you. So just to keep it simple, that way you can just touch back on it whenever you want to refresh in your memory. Okay? The very first stage of this exercise is clearly going to be awareness. It's the awareness that you need it. It's the awareness that something is going on. So once you are aware, what I want you to do is to take your mind's eye and just scan in your field where the distress is. It could be a physical sensation in the body. It could be kind of this running chaos in your bubble. It could be emotional, mental, whatever. We're not going to get overly hung up on the what it is. We just want to know that it is. And if you can locate it, just in your mind's eye, see yourself pull it into you, okay? If it's already in the body, just kind of settle into that space with it. We're not doing anything with it. We're not trying to talk it out of being in distress. We're just acknowledging it. Then you begin to breathe. You begin to open. So you're making more energetic space in your field to give it some room. Because anytime we're stressed, we have a tendency to close in on ourselves, right? So I want you to just kind of open it up, breathe, and expand. And with your intention, every time you do that, I want you to drop it down a little bit lower, a little bit lower. And your destination, this first stage of the exercise, is to bring that energy down into what we call the womb space. So for women, that space is right behind the reproductive organs, right against the sacrum. So you just nestle it into that pelvic bowl of the part of the body. And you just let it sink in, relax, and take a moment. For men, that point is called the dantian, which means it's a little bit behind the belly button, about 2 inches down. So sort of in the middle of the body. But that's the destination. I want you to breathe in, breathe it down, and you sit with it until it relaxes. And you'll know when it relaxes. This is not a process you want to rush. Even if you need to come back to it the next day, even if it feels like it might get stuck and you're like, okay, we're not going to force it. So you breathe it down, you breathe it there, and you let it sit there until you feel a little bit of a relaxation. Once you get the relaxation, your next step, step number 2, is to bring that energy bubble up into the heart chakra. Okay? We're bringing it up. It's through your intention. It's through your knowing that you can. Don't overthink it. Don't overprocess it. But bring it up into the heart chakra and let it roll around into that space. And while you're doing that, it begins to expand. You'll feel it. You'll feel the expansion, but sometimes that feels like it's tight. When it's not really tight, it's just full. Okay, so note the distinction. Step 3 is while that's going, take your mind's eye into the bubble that you are. This is the container. And just to give you a visual, if we were to stretch our arms out and you would have your hands flexed like that, that would be about the size of a naturally resting container. So if you kind of feel into it and it feels kind of cramped, just take your hands and open it up. Energy follows physical intention. So when you're moving your hands like that, it gives it, again, we're making space for it, right? If you feel like it might be too far out there, just bring it back in and just kind of beckon it to you. But you want to have it about at that resting place. Go back to the heart, feeling all of that, right? Because you've gotten in touch with this field. Go back to the heart. And now it should be at a point where it's pretty full. It's pretty what we would call plump or pregnant. Like it feels full, right? You know what I mean by that? In your mind, I want you to see the heart opening and letting all of that rich energy pour out of you like a waterfall, pouring into the container, filling it up just like you would a bathtub where it goes from the bottom all the way to the top, completely immersing yourself within that field. Now, when we gather at our retreat, I will absolutely explain the why, the all of the things, like all of that this supports. But this was just a quick demonstration. I want you to practice it without a lot of guidance in that, like why we do it, to have you experience your own why. Why are you doing it? So the key around it is to be curious, to stay present with it, to be open to what it has to show you. There are a lot of things that this exercise supports. And one of the main reasons I'm asking, it's not a requirement, of course, but the reason I'm asking you to do this is because when we are enriched in our own frequency, there is a tendency to feel more safe and more nourished. And all of the work that we're going to be doing is going to stretch you a little bit. And this is nutrition for that growth. And so you don't have to do it, but I highly recommend that you consider it. Stay curious, play with it, but go to those 3 steps, down to womb space, up into heart, and then fill the container and see how it benefits you in your day-to-day. And then, like I said, when we gather, I'll explain everything in detail so that you kind of have the moral of the story of why we do this. And I'm so excited to see you guys. All right. If you have any questions, let me know, of course. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.